congratulations on the Pro Bowl nod. We've heard from coaches. Jim Schwartz said yesterday that there were tears of joy cried from this coaching staff. Doug Peterson talked about giving you the news. I mean, what's your reaction on finally getting that Pro Bowl nod?
What I thought about, I call, the people that was been on this journey with me. I wish I could have, seen everybody at that point, but I thought about the journey, so I called my wife, got real hype in the car. I was just outside the NovaCare, just had found out as soon as I left, and I mean, I was just, I mean, it was just so joy. It was a joyful time for us, and this one goes out to all the people that really helped me, just through this whole career. Because I'm telling you, every year once I got close and became an alternate, people really wanted to see that happen for me, and all I did was just persevere and continue to keep on leaning on everybody. During them times, the good and bad, and just to have this moment right now, I'm very thankful.
Steve and then Mike.
Hey, BG, you mentioned your wife. Who are some of the other people that came to mind immediately who had kind of helped you through this whole journey?
Just even my mom, my dad, my coaches, players, people that I've talked to during this journey when I thought I was gonna get a chance and it didn't happen, and became a first alternate, and hoping that somebody back out so I could get in there, and just going through the ups and downs of hoping to get there one day. And like most of the time it's players, coaches, and my mom, family. And then you talk with fans. Sometimes they say you're gonna get there, but to have that belief before the season and to talk to the wife, I'm like, everybody thinking I'm old. I'm gonna show them old. I'm gonna go out here. I got to get in that Pro Bowl. I only got a couple years left before, I don't know where I'm gonna be in Philly. So I got to put one down before I get out of here. And man, this one is very special to me, man, because I really wanted to get on that wall, and I set one of my goals out to do that. That was one of the last touches. But at the end of the day, it ended up happening. Continue to keep believing. And, man, this is a special time for me right now. I'm very thankful.
Mike and then Jeff.
That said, though, BG, we talk about 10 sacks all the time. You're 3 away from different. How motivated are you to kind of closing out this year on a high note and getting and breaking another barrier for your career?
Man, that would be some real icing, other than the playoff. I'm trying to get in, and that's where we at right now. But that will be the second thing for sure, that I try to do is finish that, get double digits, especially the year that I get Pro Bowl, to make it official.
Jeff and then Martin.
What's your bonus?
Oh, no bonus, man. I get straight cash now.
Was it, if I could follow up, I mean, was it hard always, I'm sure you and Fletch had fun with him always getting in the last 6 years and you not, what did he have to say to you when he found out you got in?
Oh, he was proud. He had knew, and he was waiting on coach to tell me. But I called him. I called him too, before he called me, because we do have those conversations. We normally are in the building, and he'll tell me when he made it, and I'm like, dang, I didn't get that call yet, and then I get a call, and he say, man, you was second alternate or first alternate, whatever it was. But I'm like, I ain't make it, but man, hopefully somebody back out, and I'll be able to go with you. Just to be an alternate is something I'm honored about too. But it just never happened. So for me and Fletch, we always have fun with it. We never let that kind of mess up anything, because at the end of the day, I'm proud of being next to Fletch and playing with Fletch, and I'm happy for guys when they hard work pay off, because I see the hard work every day and they see my hard work. But sometimes when it's your time, it's your time, and I just felt like when that time would come, and I'm glad that it's now. You will be able to enjoy your moment too. So I always try to enjoy others, especially because when mine come, I want to enjoy mine.
Martin and then Bob.
Hey, BG, congrats, obviously. I also wanted to ask, I mean, does it make it extra special just considering the early part of your career, when, there were questions if you would even, still be on the team and everything that you had to go through just to get to this point?
Oh yeah, it's been a journey, man. That's why I said I was thinking about the journey when I actually got that call from Doug, and I wanted to call my wife, let her know, and go crazy with her and scream and have fun. And I just thought about all the people that 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 went through it with me, the players that's been on the field with us, the groups that I've been a part of, and the coaches I've been a part of. I couldn't ask for better people and better situations to learn from that helped me to this day. Just the mindset of just don't quit, just keep going. T. Cole all the time. I seen him at a high level every day, always excited, always having fun. So I try to take the same approach because life is what you make it, and you got to accept whatever decisions you made to get you to that point or where you at, good or bad. You know what's up. You know what you got to work on, but as long as you got air to breathe, baby, you can get there. Just got to keep staying focused. Don't let nobody take it away.
Bob and then Les.
Hey, BG, congratulations. And you're a big energy guy. With Washington, with them playing the Panthers at 4, there's going to be some updates on that scoreboard, and it's going to be impossible not to look at that. What do you think that'll be like? Have you ever been in a game like that where
you're Remember when we I think it was Minnesota. We was in Washington, playing in Washington, in Minnesota and the Bears, I think that's the Bears game, and the Bears ended up winning or something like that in order for us to play them or something like that. And we ended up handling our business, and everything happened the way it was supposed to. I'm hoping it's a remake of that, but we got to go take care of the Cowboys this week in order to make that happen. We can't look past no weeks trying to make that game happen at the end. But Giants got to do something for us, and the Washington Redskins got to do something for us. But we got to number one take care of our business, and that's the Cowboys this week because they got a shot too.
Yeah, what does that do to you during the game when you look up and see that, though, Brandon? I mean, does that inspire? Does that give you more juice, or when you see the results?
It does make you a little happy to see, when you get out there first quarter 7-0. Oh, okay, it's starting good, okay, but you can't worry about it too much because it'll kind of it'll sidetrack you a little bit, and that's why we got to make sure we do a good job, which we do, of just staying in the game. Yeah, you'll get an update every now and again, and you'll start seeing people on the sideline kind of cheering like, yeah. And I'm sure with all the fans that's there, they're going to update it for sure, and you're going to see people screaming, and Eagles fans that's in the stands screaming if we looking good. So I think that we just got to stay focused like we do, go out there and play our game, and worry about next week when it comes.
Go ahead, Les, and then Zach.
Hey, BG, congratulations. And you mentioned, the possibility that your career is winding down. How much longer do you want to play? What have you thought about that? What is your goal, I guess?
My goal has always been 15 years. I love, just having that 15. I always said that as a younger guy, you always see the older vets in there. Like, I was a big Ray Lewis fan, so of course, seeing him being there, 17 years at one place. I didn't know it would turn out like this the way I'm doing it, but now that I can kind of see some things, I'm like, man, just got to continue to keep your body right. If you don't get there, that's cool, but as long as you set a goal out, 15 was always my goal.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Zach.
Hey, Brandon, if someone asked you back in August 2014, before Travis Long tore his ACL, what the next 5, 6, 7 years of your career would be, what would you have thought then?
I would have thought maybe get claimed off waivers somewhere because I knew I was in the 3-4 scheme, and when that thing happened with Travis, that did suck because me and Travis still cool to this day. He actually hit me up to congratulate me and told me, it's very deserving and all the good stuff and happy holidays and stuff. Man, I keep up with all the guys. That was cool and real. So I think that with that, when that happened, I was sad for him, but that did bring some light to my day because for sure I just knew I was gone.
We'll take one more here with Damo. I see one more hand raised.
Hey, BG, you mentioned the journey earlier. I talked to one of your early travel tour guides earlier today, Jim Washburn. You You spent 2 years with Jim. I got the feeling early on that maybe you thought he didn't like you much. He said to say congratulations. What were your recollections of playing for Jim those first couple of years? That's when you had the injury and everything. But what do you recall?
Just with Washburn. Yeah, so Jim, it was tough, in the beginning. As a rookie coming in, I had McDermott and Rory Segrist was my position coach the first year, and then McDermott got fired, and then Coach Washburn come in. I hear nothing but stories about him, but I already met him during the draft process when I went to Tennessee, and he was real nice. He was real cool during that time, but now I know I got him as a coach. He was still that same type of guy, cool, but no nonsense. Like you a rookie, you ain't got nothing to say up in here, and he was a vet guy, and so it was tough for me and Vinny and Fletch come in right away, and he get the love right away. So it was a tough time during those times, but me and Wash now have buried that. We really good. Everything is cool. I'm glad I'm older now. I can understand why some things happen the way it did, and I really can appreciate it because some stuff that he taught back then is really still helping me to this day. Because when we got back in this defense, all I could hear Washburn say, "Get off the ball, run to the ball, and show your personality and show your athleticism." That's pretty much how it is in this defense. So I was so excited when Swartz ended up coming. And, man, and I'm happy that me and Wash is real cool now compared to when back then when I was a young guy and immature.
Just wanted to get your thoughts on Brandon making the Pro Bowl for the first time. Long overdue. Finally getting on that wall was pretty important too.
Yeah, man. To see Brandon get his first Pro Bowl, I think I'm more excited for him than I am for myself. To see him go out and the hard work he put in and the things that he sacrificed, the stuff that the impact that he really make on games that sometimes goes unnoticed. And everybody around know that he's been deserving that. But this year he finally got the nod, and I'm excited for him. Like I said, he called me. I knew when the phone rang what he was calling me about. He's really excited. You can hear it in his voice. His family excited, and everybody here is excited for him because we know he deserves it.
Kristen and then Rob Maddie.
Hey, Fletch, obviously you guys want to be playing your best football at the end of the season. I know you guys are coming off a loss, but in the past and even this year as well, you guys do play your best football at the end of the season. What is it about the culture of the Seagulls team that allows you guys to perform when you guys need to?
I mean, it's just a thing, I tell a bunch of young guys around here that, really teams only, they only remember you in November and December around, the league. That's when things really matter. But obviously for us, right now we're coming off of a loss, and, we get another chance to go play another good football team, a division opponent, team that we're, that we know, they know us, we know them, and it's going to come down to who wanted the most.
If I can follow up real quick, is there something to be said about the young guys and kind of the energy that they bring in these situations late in season?
I mean, the biggest thing for the young guys is, just talking to them and knowing that, just kind of hearing what they say, how long the season is. And, the biggest thing for them is, I think is, to keep those guys focused, let them know that, we got their back if they need anything. And, for them just to, just do their job. We know it's a long season for them. A lot of those guys they've been training since January, and, it's December, so they've been doing a lot of football stuff for 12 months straight. And the biggest thing for them is just to stay focused and knowing that, those guys in the locker room, they got their back and we support them. And, just do their job, and we just stay as one team.
Go ahead, Rob, and then Bo.
Fletch, you guys have been in this position before where you needed help and you got it in week 17 in 2018 and you were able to get in. Do you guys even talk about that where we've been here before, we got the help we needed, we can only, take care of what we have to take care of? And do you like the fact that Washington's playing roughly the same time you guys are? They're going to be playing at 4 rather than 1 o'clock. Does that even matter? Do you pay attention to scoreboards, or can you not even focus on that?
No, I think we got to focus on us. I think I said last week when I talked to you guys is we got to make this about us. I mean, we make it about what any other organization got going on. Then number one, we're distracted already, and instead of focus on what we need to do. I think for us, we just need to focus on Dallas. We know that obviously, I mean, they're coming. They won a game, and we just lost a game, and like I just said, they're familiar with us, we're familiar with them. I'm sure the guys in the locker room and our locker room are hungry and ready to go as every week. We just need to focus on us and try to win a game.
Go ahead, Bo, and then Ed Cross.
I know you said you were more excited about BG making the Pro Bowl than yourself making the Pro Bowl, but what does it mean to you to be going again, or not going, but getting the award again?
I mean, it's a truly honor, to be, voted to my 6th one in a row. I don't think any of this is, could happen without, I got to thank, everybody, my teammates, the coaches, the family, everybody that supported me, especially, the guys in the D-line room, they're all excited for me. They're excited for BG also. And, fun fact is that, Matt and all the guys were just talking about it today. It was a really big thing. And he asked me, does it get old? I said, no, it never gets old. I said, because to be in this position, to be voted six Pro Bowls in a row is really, truly an honor for me. And, I respect everybody that voted me in, all the players and just everything that's going on, man. It's, it's a really big honor for me.
Do you think BG will find a way to trash talk the QBs even though there's no game?
BG would definitely find a way to trash talk. It doesn't matter, what's going on. That's just Brandon, man. BG, he gonna talk noise, and sometimes I got to reel him back in, let him know, hey, we got to focus and refocus on the next play, and that's just the thing that I like about him. He can talk noise and still back it up.
We'll take 2 more here, so go ahead, Ed, and then Mike.
Yeah, hi, Fletch. We had Alex Singleton on earlier today, and he gave a lot of credit to you guys, you and Malik and Javon, for what you guys are doing up front to help him. But what has he meant to this defense these last 2 months that he's been starting?
Yeah, Alex been playing great. I mean, you turn the tape on, you see him every week. He's getting more familiar with he's getting a lot more familiar of understanding really the defense. This guy came in, he's a smaller middle linebacker than what you expect, but he does a lot for us. And the biggest part is I think we've helped Alex, and Alex has helped us in so many different ways that he don't know. And the biggest thing for him is we just tell Alex when he first started, hey, just get us lined up. And you just, focus on what you got to do. I said, sometimes you have to make us right. And he's understanding the style of defense that we play. And Alex has been playing at a really high level. And he's been doing a really good job for us.
Go ahead, Mike.
Fletch, I know we've talked about you guys being in this position before and how the team plays better kind of towards the end when you guys have your backs against the wall. But you, in particular, seem to play better down the stretch when you guys have your backs against the wall. I think the last time you were in this spot, you had 3 sacks against Washington. What is it about it that kind of gets you, you're just flowing and it's do or die?
I mean, it's just one of them things, and I hate using the word putting the team on my back because I know every player on the field put the team on their back. I just want to go out and, and be the tone setter. I want to go out and make the first play. I want to go out and make the first sack. I want to go out and make the first tackle. Whatever it is, my thing is I don't want to wait on somebody else to do it. I want the guys to feed off of me. And that's just kind of just how I am. And that's just not the last couple games of the season. That's keep it early in the season, the middle part of the season. I tell everybody else, hey, don't meet me there, beat me there, So I just want to be the guy that the energy that the guys feed off of. And, if I know, they know if I'm coming out with a lot of energy, flying around making plays, and, that means they got to do the same thing.
You probably wouldn't realize this, but us that have been around it for a while would. There are not many times that Jim Schwartz cracks a smile when he talks to us as the media, let alone acknowledges that tears might have been shed. But that's what he said yesterday when he got word that Brandon Graham is a Pro Bowler for the first time in his career. What's it like for you guys as players to see a guy that's been doing it so long finally get that honor? And then what has he meant to your defense?
Yeah, I know in the beginning of this year, at one point, he's, this season, just like last season, BG's balled out. I mean, to me, he's one of the best defensive players I've been around. And, I just assumed, obviously, he had been to a ton of Pro Bowls. In my mind, when I got here last year, I was like, oh, this dude's a Pro Bowler. It is. It's just who Brandon Graham is. Obviously, he hadn't been to any, and I didn't even know that till this year at one point, during the season, Coach had said something, how he was on that kind of a run. And to continue to be able to do that and then actually get into it, you guys know who the guy BG is. He's the best guy in the world, happiest guy in the world, most motivating, truly a true pro at this, and also just a guy that you love being around. So I couldn't be happier for him. I know, like what Coach Schwartz said, everyone is just beyond happy for him. I'm just really excited that, he gets this opportunity.
We'll go Ed and then Jeff.
Hey, Alex, we were talking to Jim Schwartz yesterday, and he mentioned that one of the things where you've improved is in your pass coverage. Just talk about the challenge of getting better in that area and what took time to get there in covering receivers and tight ends and running backs, whatever it is you're covering.
Yeah, I think the linebacker position is just there's a lot on your plate. I think even only being in this system now, I guess pretty much for a full 2 years. I still learn something new every week just from kind of our base concepts. So just kind of knowing in every play kind of what's a possibility of what's going to go on during that play, knowing what guy can become your guy in coverage, whether it's zone or man, and then also, what run fits could possibly be yours based off of, what goes on with them. So I think those are the things that every week, getting more reps, seeing more formations, seeing more plays, knowing how guys want to attack us and understanding those and, translating them onto the field, not just, learning about them on Wednesdays and then forgetting about it on Sunday, to actually be able to, recognize it and even in some points communicate it, I think has been really where I've grown the most, and just being able to, understand those situations.
Jeff and then John.
Alex, is it safe to say, because of Jim's aggressive front, that it does put a little more in the linebackers in terms of gap responsibility and also in terms of coverage? Or would you say, is there something more difficult about Jim's scheme for linebackers?
I wouldn't say it's difficult. I mean, you see those four guys in front of us. I think they're, four of the best guys in the world at what they do. I think it's pretty easy to play behind Fletcher, Malik, Hargrave, those guys, Ray, they're Ty, whoever's in there, they separate them. So, they make it difficult for O-linemen. I think O-linemen, when they play us, a lot of guys come off of double teams and pick up linebackers. I don't think against us, a lot of guys are coming off. They're staying on our 3-techs and our 2s, and it kind of makes it easier for us. But so I love how our defense plays. It's fast. I don't think anything is more difficult or less difficult depending on Schwartz's scheme compared to different teams.
Go ahead, John Clark, and then Bob Groats.
Hey, Alex, you really have been a breakthrough this year. Can you tell me how much your confidence has gone up being in this defense and the opportunity you've had to show what you can do? And also, is it really perfect timing with the money you're raising for Special Olympics, and how much money have you raised with all of your tackles?
Yeah. First, it is perfect timing, being able to tackle inclusion this season. Obviously, it was something I was going to set out, whether I was going to just, be a special team player and a role defensive player or a full-time, starter at this point in the season. And so I'm beyond happy to be able to be doing that right now. I want to say we just passed 8,500, and the goal is 10 grand. So we got 2 weeks. I think if it continues to trend this way, hopefully, we almost hit that 10 grand this week. And I'm never against, raising more money for Special Olympics, especially in the Philadelphia area. It's huge for that organization. So I'm very excited to be doing that. And yeah, I think, just overall, I don't think my confidence has changed in myself. It's not the first time, obviously the first time starting here and the first time starting the NFL, but, I've believed in myself as a starter, from before I even went to Canada, when I was in college, and, I've had that confidence. I think you have to have that confidence to, prepare to be a starter. 'Cause like I've said in weeks past, once you get that opportunity, you've either, been preparing for it or you're already going to be, already too far behind the 8 ball. So, my confidence, I think, is the same. I think I can show it more during the week. I can, just, being the middle linebacker of our team, being confident on a Wednesday, making all the calls, making all the checks, just things that the first few weeks you do it, you kind of still second guess yourself maybe in the back of your head. But now that, we're in 6th, 7th, 8th week of me doing this, on Wednesdays like today when we got to practice, I'm going to, feel very confident out there, making all the checks and all the calls.
Thanks, Alex.
Hey, Alex, with Washington playing Carolina at 4:00, there's going to be constant reminders on the scoreboard and for you guys. And have you ever been in a situation, played in a game like that, first of all, and then can that add to, can that give you juice if Washington is losing, or just the opposite if they're winning?
So I haven't been in a situation like that where, not at, the professional level where you can see it on the screen and kind of, track the game. I think that's something you got to block out. These games are hard to win as it is. Even if you're an undefeated team, it's hard to go out and beat the next team. The NFL is a tough league to play in. Any team can beat anybody on any given night, and if you're not 100% focused on beating that team, it's going to be the hardest game you're going to play that year. And so if guys want to use it, hopefully it just brings good energy and the Panthers are winning the whole time. So guys on our, sideline are just fired up because I know I'm going to ignore it. It's, everyone knows what this offense has and what weapons they have. So if we're not 100% focused on what they're going to bring to the table, it'll be a tough night no matter what's going on in the other game.
All right, we have time for 2 more, so we'll go Les and Zach.
Hey, Alex, your time in Canada, what did that do for you? How did that? The game is so different there. Were you able to take much from that to this? And you obviously had a lot of success there. What did that mean to your career?
At first, my conditioning, that field is a lot bigger. So during, parts of this season, obviously, playing, 90-something snaps, I think a few weeks in a row, I would say that for sure was credited to the CFL. That 65-yard wide field is a little further. It's a lot more outside zone schemes, with the offense. It's not as downhill, I think, is the biggest thing, the biggest difference. But, my confidence, I think it just fully became a pro in Canada. I had to learn, when I first got to the NFL, I was 21, out of Montana State, didn't really know much, kind of knew what I knew. And, but then when you go to the CFL is not like the NFL. That's, a fully scheduled day. You're in the building from 7 to 7. The CFL, you're considered a part-time employee because of the visas for Americans. So you only work from 9 to 1 every day. So it's kind of your choice if you want to be a pro. You can go there and kind of enjoy your time, or you can go there and, I was still going to the building at 7 a.m. to get my workouts in the morning and to, kind of keep that structure for myself and know my ultimate goal was to, come back and play in the NFL and ultimately become a starter. And so kind of, at this point, it's, been full circle, and, I could say, my plan worked perfectly how I wanted it to, but, to grow in that time was, the biggest thing for me because it became a lot less on other people controlling what I was doing and more myself.
Thanks.
All right, last one here with Zach.
Hey, Alex, you said you always viewed yourself as a starter, but the reality is these past 2 summers, you've tried to play your way on to the 53. Now that you've spent 6 weeks or so as a 3-down linebacker, do you think you're in a position to keep that role going forward into next season?
Oh man, I don't even think about that. I don't worry about that stuff. Obviously, you want to, but like you said, I've come in and competed the last two summers, and so whether it's and I think no matter what happens, it's going to be a competition, in the future. So that I'm excited for that. I'm ready for that, but focus on beating Dallas first. Then we'll worry about that.
How do you feel about where you've come from and where you are right now at this point of the season? How much experience you've been able to gain, being able to play consistently lately, and what are your thoughts on the off season and going into next year? Obviously, every competitor wants to play, and would you like to see your name in that mix for a starting position?
Sheesh, what a question. Honestly, how I feel about the position right now, I just go out there and do my job. It sounds like a broken record, but it's honestly the only way I can function is just to go out there and do my job. I don't really think about anything else. I just focus on that play and in that moment. We have a great saying here: "Be where your feet are at," and that's what I do all the time. And I don't really like to, I think that's all the other stuff will take care of itself if I just do my job. And that's the mentality that I always have. It's helped me be consistent. And, now that I feel more confident, I'm just going to stick to what I know, and that's what I know.
Donovan A.
Hey, Jordan. Through your development, you've mentioned a lot of players, Smoking Joe Osman, Sweaty J, I think you call Josh. Brandon Graham over the years, he just got the Pro Bowl nod. What has he meant for you? Obviously, you're normally on the left side. You're entrenched now, but you've been on the right side as well. How much has he helped you over the years?
BG has helped I guess, when it comes to technique as well. Anytime that he's beating me, he always coaches me up. Just on just little tips that I should be doing better. And also just like boosting my self-esteem, telling me how much of a good player I am, and just telling me that, be physical, be dominant. He always tells me that they scared of you. That's what he always tells me every week, every day. Even though I don't go up against him, he always tells me on the sideline, they scared of you. Come on, you can do it. They scared of you. And, those little things that I really appreciate a lot. It goes a long way with my confidence, and just to know that, a teammate of mine believes in me, it helps me play better.
Thanks, Jordan.
Hey, hi, Jordan. Looks like you're going to have the same offensive line combination going into Dallas just the second time this year. How beneficial is that for you guys?
Yeah, it's great to get just a consistent line together. But even if we didn't have a consistent line, we've been doing it all year, so it wouldn't be nothing new or too strange for us, to be honest. Looking back at last week's game, it's kind of good that the same line going into this week, we can work on the corrections that we need to make as a unit. Not one person is going to win us the game. All 5 guys have to be in coherence. So, yeah.
Go ahead, Bo, and then Dave.
Jordan, what has Jason Kelce meant to you? He was named to the Pro Bowl again. What has he meant to you throughout your time with the Eagles?
Told you, man. Kelsey's that big bro, man. Big brother mentality right there when it comes to Kelce. He goes a long way. You guys don't understand how grateful we are as an offensive line to have, or as an offense to have Jason Kelce. It's like having 2 QBs out there. Honestly, slows down the game so much. Explains what angle to take and why we do certain things when we're hitting blocks and executing techniques. Jason Kelce, man, he's the man. He's the GOAT. He's the GOAT.
You trying to grow a beard longer than his?
Oh, my God. You know what? It's going to take me 10 years to grow a beard like Kelce.
Go ahead, Dave, and then Zach.
Hey, Jordan, now that you're actually really playing this year, your family back in Australia, are they able to watch you? They even get NFL games there?
Yeah, it's kind of great that NFL is kind of expanding globally now, especially back home, down under. The family is able to watch on I think it's the NFL Pass. I think they have it down there as well. And Channel 7, it's our sports channel. Well, not really our sports channel, but it's like our one of our major channels back home. So they're really lucky to have those avenues where we can watch it. And it's been helpful that the last 3 games, it's been at 4:25. So they haven't been they don't have to wake up in the crack of dawn to watch the game. They can just wake up at 8 a.m. and just normal time, and it'll be good. But yeah. It's been awesome.
All right, we'll wrap it up here with the last 2 hands raised. Go ahead, Zach, and then Chris.
Hey, Jordan, the 3 Pro Bowl tackles from the NFC were Bakhtiari, Trent Williams, and Terran Armstead. How far away do you think you are from those players?
I don't even know. I don't even know how the voting system works. We vote, and whatever happens. But just the same mentality that I approach. If I just focus on my job, it'll take care of the rest. I really believe in that. I don't really want to stray away from that, just because it'll be out of my comfort zone if I stray away from not focusing on getting better 1% each day and doing my job. And that's, I don't really focus on the Pro Bowl stuff. I'm not here to win Pro Bowls. I'm here to win championships. I want to get a ring. So...
No, as far as the question, I didn't mean the Pro Bowl voting. I meant just in terms of the talent level. If those guys are the elite tackles, how far away do you think you are from reaching that point?
Right. Sorry. Right.
That's my fault. I didn't ask it well.
Yeah. So you want me to compare myself to them? That's what you really asking.
Or how far you need to get to reach that level.
Yeah. Mate, I don't know. I don't really watch film on them, on those tackles. I watch film on the DN, so I really, that's a tough one. That's a great question, actually. Let me get back to you on that one.
Fair enough. Thank you.
I'll get back to you on that one.
Go ahead, Chris.
Hey, Jordan, you mentioned Joe Osman before has helped you out get better, becoming a better tackle, and today he was nominated for the Ed Block Courage Award. What are your thoughts on him, on his nomination?
Oh, I think he deserves that award 100%. Joe's worked so hard to get back to where he is now. And he is the reason why we call him Smoking Joe. There's a reason behind that. You know, every play doesn't matter what it is. It could be a walkthrough. That's the funniest thing now. We have like a running joke. It's like, yeah, when Doug says it's a walkthrough, we have to tell Joe it's a walkthrough. It's 20% for you because his 20% is our 60%. You know, that's the kind of effort that Joe brings every day. So you know that if you see Joe lining up against you, you can't relax. You can't, and I love that. It's the competitive nature that we need. Iron sharpens iron, and you know that's what we need to get better. And Joe gives us that edge, and he totally deserves that award. I'm very happy for him, and you know he's like a brother to me. So, yeah.
Made a nice impact in Arizona the other day. Just that interception that you had, just kind of talk us through that. How did that happen for you?
I was just in single high coverage. After I cleared that zone read, I just started pushing back to the middle of the field and tried to keep my eyes on the quarterback, see where he was trying to go with the ball. I seen him kind of almost pull the pin on the ball, trying to, you know, fit the ball into that little slant window on my left-hand side. I got a good break on it, and he pulled it back in, and then he ended up trying to squeeze it back in there again and kind of just threw it right to me. So, you know, I just tried to make sure I secured the catch and got down.
Go ahead, Les, and then Mike.
Forgot to unmute there. Sorry. Hey, Marcus. What was it like being out there without Rodney McLeod Sunday? And also, you were involved. It wasn't your fault, but on two of those special teams things, the fake punt and the blocked punt, you were in the picture anyway. How did you see those plays? What could you have done differently, do you think, if anything?
Yeah, you know, anytime we lose a guy like Rod, who's, you know, a veteran player, a real good player, a guy who's really good at communicating, getting everybody lined up, you know, it's difficult. But, you know, I kind of had to, you know, I was trying to come in and, you know, kind of fill that role of helping being a communicator back there. You know, it's never easy, you know, to be that guy. But, you know, I thought we did a solid job, you know, getting on the same page all on the back end, especially as the game wore on. I kind of thought we all got more comfortable back there together. And then the special teams things, yeah, you know, the block punt, you could put that on me. I mean, I'm the personal protector, so, you know, I can't let any leakage get by, and, you know, some leakage got by, and, you know, that's on me at the end of the day. So, you know, I got to be better there. That's a spot I felt like, you know, I've done good at so far this year, but, you know, you just can't relax on any one play. You know, anything can go wrong on one play. So, you know, we just got to fix that issue and, you know, keep pushing forward.
Go ahead, Mike.
The fake punt, it looked like you guys were set up to stop a fake run, perhaps fake punt for a run, but not for them to throw it over you like that.
Yeah, you know, it was 4th and like 1 or 2, so, you know, we were selling out thinking, you know, we were very aware of the fake, but, you know, we were thinking more possibly it would come as, you know, maybe a direct snap to the PP, trying to squeeze in through the middle. And I think they did a good job. They had a good play drawn up of, you know, squeezing that PP through the middle and getting them out into a pass. So, you know, just things like that happen sometimes.
Sorry to cut you off there, Les. Go ahead, Mike, and then Martin.
Hey, Marcus, Tim, I think when you got here, we learned that Tim was like a very big advocate for you coming here and getting claimed off waivers and all that stuff. What's he meant to you, your growth the last, I guess, 18 months since you've been here, and what's that relationship like?
Yeah, you know, Coach Tim, he's been awesome for me. I mean, ever since I got here, you know, I've been meeting extra with him. You know, last year it wasn't easy for me, you know, coming in midway through the year as a rookie and, you know, basically having to just learn the playbook on the fly and, you know, and then 2 weeks later being thrown out there and playing. So, you know, that definitely wasn't easy for me. But, you know, Tim definitely, eased that a little bit for me, made it a lot easier. Always met with me extra whenever I needed to. Made sure he, thoroughly went over the playbook with me. So, since I've gotten here, he's made it a lot easier for me on, just learning the playbook and developing my game as a safety.
We'll take two more here with Martin and then Ed.
Hey, Marcus. I guess you were kind of asked a little earlier about, Rodney not being there, but I was kind of curious as to, how much Jalen Mills was able to help, everybody out, being like the only, starter at the beginning of the season who was still in there. And what have you seen from him as far as, him converting from corner to safety this year? Thanks.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with Mills that he did a great job of on Sunday was just keeping everybody calm on the sideline. Things didn't always go our way, but when we got to the sideline, he did a good job of making sure everybody stayed calm, didn't panic, and just stayed in the fight. So, it was great to have him back there and on the sideline with us from that aspect. And then, just with him moving from corner to safety, I mean, you got to be a pretty good player to be able to play both corner and safety in the NFL, and I think so far he's done a good job of, converting back there. He can cover and do all those things, but also showing a willingness to go into the box and, stick his nose in there and make tackles as well. So I think he's been doing a really good job.
Go ahead, Ed.
Hey, Marcus, ask you about another teammate, Michael Jacquet. We just had him on here. What have you seen from him, in his short time playing?
Yeah, I think that was awesome, what we've seen from him. Things didn't always go his way, but he battled like crazy. And, that's never an easy task for anyone to, have to go toe-to-toe with that receiver core. Mainly he was guarding D-Hop for most of the game, but, especially being an undrafted guy, coming in and in your first real start, having to just go toe-to-toe with him. So I thought it was pretty cool how he never panicked. He was never, scared or in doubt out there. He just went out there and battled. And, I think the sky's the limit for him. He's real athletic. He's tall, lanky. And I think the more he continues to, switch from that, because he played receiver in college, but switching over to the defensive side of the game, I think he can be a really good player in this league.
The peace sign as you're running to the end zone, how good did that feel? You've obviously had to wait your turn here, but how rewarding was that moment for you?
Honestly, it felt amazing. I was so hyped seeing the guys. If you could really see my face through the helmet, I was smiling from ear to ear. I was really excited.
Who were you purposefully giving the peace sign to? Was there a number that you were looking at when you just were like, peace?
Nah, not really. It was just, if you ask G Ward, he'll tell you I'm doing a peace sign to him. But honestly, I was just really doing it. It was just something that kind of just went.
Go ahead, Dave, and then Ed.
Hey, Quez, take me through that play from the beginning to the end. It seemed like you had a little kind of a half spin move in the middle there.
Honestly, when I caught the ball, I didn't see nothing but red, so I immediately just stuck my foot in the ground and just tried to get out and really just try to get positive yards. And when I seen I had open grass, I used my speed and I took it.
And then Jeff McLean.
Hey, Quez, what's your history with Jalen Hurts? Do you have a history with him? Do you guys go back a while?
We go back from before the combine. We so happened to be training in Atlanta. I didn't know him at the time. He didn't know me. I knew of him because of my former quarterback that was close. But as we start working and got closer and closer, and then we got here and drafted together. When we got drafted together, it was really we just started connecting more. And during the season, during practice squad reps, the connection just started growing.
Do you work a lot on the side too? After practice, I know, Jalen Reagor mentions that. I assume you're involved with that as well.
Yeah, after practice, I stay with Jalen, catch balls, run routes for him. If we messed up on something, we just go back and redo it.
Go ahead, Jeff, and then Bo.
Quez, what do you think was the biggest obstacle to getting you active in games through the first 3 months, and what do you think has changed here over the last 2 weeks?
I guess the first 3 months it was waiting my turn. Honestly, that's all I really could do. All I can really say. It was just waiting on my opportunity, staying staying engaged, still grinding every day, coming to work every day. And when my number was called, I answered and I stepped up.
Go ahead, Bo, and then Les.
Quez, what can you tell us about Jalen Hurts that we might not know?
Honestly, he's just a natural born leader. I can talk to him about anything besides football, anything outside of football, and he's going to hit me with some motivation. And I might not be trying to hear it at the moment, but it's always helpful. So he's always somebody that's going. He's an uplifting person. So that's one thing I always love about him.
We'll go Les and then Jimmy.
Hey, Quez, if you get more opportunities these last 2 weeks after what you did Sunday, what do you want to establish coming out of this season? What do you want to have showed them?
I want to show them that I belong in this league, and moving forward to next year that I can play in this league and I can become a Pro Bowler or all-time leader, a receiver leader. So that's really just some of my goals and what I want to move forward to.
All right, we have time for one more, and then we'll get BG in here. So go ahead, Jimmy.
Hey, Quez, you got kick return and punt return work in college. Have you been practicing there at all this season? And is there any chance we see you in that role these last 2 games?
Honestly, I'm not sure. Yeah, I did it in college, some, but here when I kind of came in, I work on it and stuff like that. But Boston and Reg and G Ward have been doing a great job at it. So right now, I guess we'll just stick with them.
Hey, Mike, I heard you spoke to the corners at your alma mater before this game, and everybody was really excited for you. What was that conversation like? And what's this journey been like for you to go from undrafted free agent to starting a game against one of the best wide receivers in the league, or I guess 2 with Cooper as well?
Well, the conversation with the guys back at my alma mater, I was just giving them guys motivation, talking to them about everyday life things, just not making the pressure bigger than what it is, just telling them to relax and, just play their games and be who they are, do what got them in that position. As far as being an undrafted player and having to step into the role and deliver and play big-time minutes, it's just, I guess the standard is the standard in our room. No matter who is on the field, the standard and the expectation doesn't change. And those guys done a great job as preparing me. The coaches as well done a great job, so I just follow their lead and continue to do what I'm doing and just learn every day.
Real quick, when Coach Napier asked you to switch to corner, what was that conversation like your junior year?
Oh, well, at first it really wasn't a conversation about switching to corner. It was more playing both ways. So I was originally supposed to play both ways, and throughout like spring and fall camp, I was going both ways. But as I continued to progress at corner, he noticed that we needed more help on defense, and I agreed. So we just decided to make that a full-time role, and I went ahead and slid at the corner side. So, and that's where I've been since.
All right, Nick and then Martin.
Hi, Michael. Since coming to Philadelphia, what have you learned about yourself, if anything, and about how the game is played here at the NFL level? And have you always been somebody who's been able to kind of put the last play aside, especially when it looked like they might have gotten away with one like DeAndre Hopkins throwing you to the ground the other day with no call? How do you cope with that?
Oh man. Just growing up in life, you can't dwell on what happens in the past. You just got to focus on the future and where your feet are at the present time. You can't worry about, you can't change anything that happens in the past. It happened. So you got to go ahead and go to the next play, next day, whatever it is in life. And that's just how I am as a person. I don't care about what happened in the past. I'm going to learn from it, yeah, but as far as me having emotions and worrying about it, I'm not going to do that.
Go ahead, Martin, and then Paul Domowitch.
Hey, Mike, I was going to ask you a similar type question, but I guess what I was kind of interested in is, does your former life as a wide receiver, does that kind of like help you put those plays behind you? And also, if you can also describe what happened on the forced fumble and stuff on Kyler Murray?
Well, being receiver, I don't know if that really helped me about forgetting the next play, like coming from receiver. I know playing quarterback it does, because you can make a bad play at quarterback, you got to forget that. So I could say quarterback helped with that, but not receiver. The play with Kyler Murray, Coach Schwartz dialed up a perfect play. I went in and I went to sack the quarterback, and when I went to sack him, I kind of alligator rolled, and when I rolled, he was still kind of on top of me. And Robe was able to come and hit the ball. And when he hit the ball, I just held Kyler down until Robe was able to go in and receive the fumble.
All right, we have time for 2 more, so we'll go Damo and then Bo.
Michael, with respect to your former life as a wide receiver, how has that helped you understand what wide receivers are doing when they're lining up against you? Has it been helpful in that regard?
Oh, yeah. I mean, receivers have tendencies and split tendencies that they want to get to for certain routes. Coming from receiver, you would know that. Receivers like to lean and make sure they can lean and go the other way. And I learned that. Just the different things that receivers do. Like, I implemented it into my corner game because I knew and I know like the different things that they want to do. So, yeah, that helped me a lot.
Go ahead, Bo.
Michael, you are your measurements for like your arm length and your wingspan are super long for a corner. Are there ways in like your everyday life where like you recognize having super long arms or anything like that? Does it come up at all?
I mean, not really. I really don't notice how long I am until I am on the football field or playing any type of sports, because I have an advantage when I raise my arms or anything. Like in everyday life, I really don't use them like that. I'd be chilling at the house. I don't really do nothing because of this pandemic. So, and then even in the past, I mean, people would tell me, man, you got some long arms, but I really wouldn't notice it until I'm playing ball.